Sounds about right.
I was more surprised that it broke on me.
Okay. You should see the stream.
I see it.
Yeah, give me a second.
Come on, Nintendo.
I can't see you yet. Maybe just it'll probably come up in a second or two. There we go. It's up.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, I watched the first three episodes of Young Big Dawn.
Oh,
I like it.
nice.
I like it so far.
Yeah, it's, next chapter of Fiona just came out. the Courtney, Deborah, and I might be like slightly obsessive about watching when the next chapter comes out. We have a group text, and it's like, guess what's out?
Oh man, that's funny.
And then we proceed to fangirl over it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, doesn't show you. Alright. Oh. Okay.
Actually, you want to give me 2 seconds? I'm gonna grab a drink and then I'm ready.
Okay. Can do. the wrong notes up. Let me fix that. I just realized I had my basic Japanese notes showing, not the ones for the game. That's the notes I needed. There we go. I got to see what my other Japanese notes were.
Okay. Ready to begin whenever you are.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi.
All right. Excellent. So, do we remember what all the buttons on your menu do? Let's start with that. That's always a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
That menu you have open right now. Just what
Yep.
what all those buttons in the left window.
Let's see. That was
You can use your notes, but yeah, you need to read them.
Hanas. I think. Hanas. Maybe do I have that wrong? No. I think I have it right. This one here. Yeah, Hanas. Talk.
Yep.
And then this one was goods, I guess. Goods. So it'll be
Yep.
equipment,
Goods. Yep.
check. And
Yep.
Suyosa. Power toughness screen. Right? That one? No, that one's the wrong one, I think. That one was... I think I have that... Did I? No.
Yeah, they're not ordered in the way that you thought at first.
No.
Read the bottom two and you'll figure it out.
Yep. I was like, wait a minute, I gotta... That's definitely not Sue. And I was like, wait a minute, this is wrong.
It's good that you're picking up on that.
Oh, wait. That one's check.
Yes. Yep.
And then that one's Suyosa. I was like,
There you go.
this isn't right. Something's wrong here.
Yep. Yep.
This one's check.
You figured it out pretty quick. Okay, so now you remember what your menu does.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're gonna see that menu a lot as you play. You get, like whenever you want to talk to somebody, you have to open the menu and press talk. Like just for example.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of this bedroom that we've been in for way, way too long.
For an hour, I think.
Hey,
You're still in your
menus.
PJs.
Yeah, you're still in your PJs.
You only had $20 to your name.
We're gonna run around in our PJs with our bedhead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, there's a person.
You have very high ceilings in your house.
Time to translate.
Yes, there we go. First dialogue of the game.
So I guess with Pink Girl, we'll call her.
I don't think it's much of a spoiler to tell you that's your mom.
Okay. She doesn't look very much like a mom, but...
This is a SNES game. You You have to give the artists some like leeway. Also, this is like a 20-plus-year-old game now.
Yep. Alright. So, na. Long.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could. Would putting a double vowel in there maybe make it so it shows that it's long? I don't know. Maybe just do the dash in the English.
I think if you're doing if you're actually writing it in your notes, just do the dash.
Okay, I'll do the dash then.
We know what that means if you're putting down actual Japanese.
Da. Tsu. Ta. No. Ka? I think that one's ka.
The tsu is small. I'd probably put parentheses around that to note that. And this hello, welcome to the Weeb channel where we're translating Earthbound.
I know. I've been doing it too.
Excellent.
Courtney?
So unless you see that the su is like about as tall as the ta right next to it, see compare the height of the two characters.
Yeah. Okay, it needs to be a lot
If
bigger.
it needs to be at least that tall, otherwise it's a small one.
And that character. Okay, wait.
Hello, Courtney. I'm Andrew. I don't think we've ever met.
Nope, we have not. Nice to meet you.
This character looks strange. Kana looks strange.
Oh, it's because the part in the top left is too short. But it's just the font.
Is it? It wouldn't be a.
I can see why this would throw you off. It threw you off last time too.
Wait, is this raw?
Yes, it is.
Oh God, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's,
this
you
looks.
see that little tiny thing coming up on the top left of it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a lot longer.
That's what I was like. What is this?
Yeah, but it's just the font.
I'm getting better at reading it.
Mhm.
I pick up on
Okay.
the na every time now.
Mhm.
Probably because na is a common character. Alright. So non.
The syllables are actually not that big. You get used to it. It doesn't take us that long, I don't think, to get.
Mhm.
The only problem is that there's two of them.
Mhm. So nan da ta no kashira.
Mhm. You said everything so far correctly. What's the last four characters in the next line?
Okay, I guess that's interesting. I guess double O and yeah, double O. Yes, that's okay. Anuto, anoto.
Ano oto.
Ano oto. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm sitting there
You
going,
only do the long O sound if you got the dash or if it's OU.
okay. Anoto.
If you have O's right next to each other, you have to put a little stop there.
Okay. Well, that makes it more sense for spacing
Yeah.
words out a little bit too.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. So, any words at all in here that you recognize at all? That's the first question.
Wait. No.
It's okay if the answer is no.
Kashira sounds familiar. I might be wrong.
I mean, this is all pretty common phrases and words. How are we doing this?
don't think I recognize them.
Okay, so Nanda is it's basically another way of saying Nani.
Okay.
Um, you would use the same character as Nani, but you put a da after it, and it becomes Nanda.
Okay.
So we would translate that as what? It's the same kanji as Nani.
Okay.
Okay. And then datta is just basically making sure that this entire sentence is in the past tense.
Which one?
Datta. You can add datta onto a lot of things to make it past tense. So we what we've done, honestly, what we've done here is we've verbified nani.
Ah.
We've made nani into a verb, and then we put it past tense. So we've turned nani into nanda, and then to make it past tense, we've added datta. So nani to nanda to nandata. It's specifically da small su ta.
Yeah.
Da. Yeah. And then one step further more complicated, we've added no ka, which makes it a question. Shira, I don't want you to worry about other than it's a very feminine thing to say here. It doesn't really hold a whole lot of meaning. It's kind of it's one of those things that are kind of flavor, kind of like desu.
Okay.
But in this case it's very feminine. And then Oto is sound. And Ano is that. I will let you write your paragraphs about all that because that was a lot to take in one sentence.
So, what sound is that?
Yes. What sound was that? Yeah, that would make sure past tense was that, not is that, was that.
The Francesca notes are very long.
Whatever helps.
I mean, better to be more descriptive than less.
Yep.
And you could always, in between our sessions, go back and organize these notes.
Yep.
So just getting this information down now is always good. Okay. You can press continue and get the next phrase.
Ah.
All right. Start reading the rest of it.
Are those dialogue options?
No. Which part of the screen are you referring to?
Where it says ah, and then the next.
No. Well, Ah is her name.
Oh my god!
You see that health bar? You see the health bar at the bottom? That says her name right there. Ah.
Oh my
It was the first words that came out of her mom's mouth when she gave birth to
yeah. When
him.
she was. Oh shit! Oh god,
That was a good one.
that was all right. That was all right.
0 to 60.
Yeah, definitely unexpected. All right, we need to stop giggling and work.
Mo. It's Mo.
No, you got one character wrong.
Which one?
The first Sa
Wait,
is not Sa. That's
Chi.
yeah.
I get those two backwards. It's like D and
Yeah.
B for me, basically.
Yep. It's understandable. I made that mistake a lot.
I'm like, is
But
that a
since
Sa
I know
or
it,
Chi?
since I know the word is Choto, that's yeah. It's not Sato. It's Choto.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, Chito. Yeah, it isn't Chi. There's no yo. Huh. Okay, that threw me a little bit.
Chitomo.
Oh no, it is. Am I
It's
making a mistake?
Chitomo.
It might be Sato.
Was I correct?
You might have been correct. I'm actually having to look it up now. It's facing right.
The first character in that second word in the middle of the line, I think that's Chi.
It's either Chi or Sa.
Yeah.
It is Chi. It is Chi. I was right. Okay.
All
May
right.
I got like a little confused because I at first I thought the word was Choto, but there's no yo there, so it's Chitomo. Yeah, that's another word. I just didn't expect. Okay, we're good. I'm back on track.
I was like, I'm fairly certain I did the rest of it correct. That's
No, you did.
Yeah, that one.
I was going too fast and I threw myself off. We're good.
Okay. Alright, and then. Is that a wa after ko?
Yes.
Okay, that's just a really weird looking wa. It's like, is that? It's like, but they do like to do that weird elongating of parts and then shrinking of parts that shouldn't be, and yeah, it was a. And then that's a.
Has 10-10.
Ga, I think. Ga.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, I think that has 10-10, but yeah, you can kind of. It's like a.
You can see it if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. And then two. And then.
If you don't want to type out parentheses su parentheses every time, we could also do commas. I've seen that done before when romanticizing.
Okay. That might work.
You just have to understand that that's what they are when you're reading it.
Actually,
it's
I
shorthand.
have a better idea for the shorthand. What about that? Actually, be this right here. There we go.
I'm watching. Yeah, as long as you know that's what that is.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me than a comma, because comma just make me like think of it as another word, whereas having that apostrophe makes me think of it more as like the pause, like the in the word.
Yeah. The other common thing I see done is you double the next consonant. So
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Cheat tomo.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of how you pronounce it too.
Okay. That.
Whatever you want to do, as long as we're all aware that that's a small tsu.
Mm-hmm.
So all the tsu is there is just a pause. I'm sorry, I have like
Yeah,
no Japanese training.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Ask any questions that you have. Yeah. Small tsus, or really any. I should back up. Any small character modifies the character before it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're full size, that you don't actually pronounce them as is. So small tsu is specifically an exception that it's more of a pause than it is its sound, because you don't actually say tsu and you don't actually change the sound before to anything sounding like tsu. You just, like I said, the most common thing to try to pronounce it as an English speaker is you double the next consonant. So instead of chi tomo, it's not chi tomo, it's chitomo.
Okay.
Is this next character me? Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That looks really weird. I didn't like it. Oops, sorry.
I mean, you can really see that loop on the bottom left, which is one of the more unique things about the character.
Yeah.
So it actually helps me remember it.
It looks like a 21.
I see a cursive H.
Hmm.
A very, very cursive H. With the emotes.
Yeah, from Team 4-Star.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just playing with emotes.
While she's just playing with emotes.
You can say my name.
We tried.
I mean, we are on stream, so I was trying to stay to usernames. It was whatever.
Yeah, we kind of try. I guess I should.
Anyway, what's the last character? You just got one character
I
left.
know. I'm thinking about it. One moment.
Okay.
Meaning I'm having to look this one up.
Okay. For the most part, you're much faster tonight.
Yeah. I
I'm gonna
actually
leave the
had
channel
studied the
temporarily.
characters before, yeah, but then.
Oh
It's been a
no,
while.
we lost her.
What?
Bye. She didn't even say anything. She's like, said one word and then disconnected.
Oh no.
Rip.
Probably need to take
Maybe
a break for some.
Maybe it was bedtime or had to get off or something.
I know she had to do something tonight, so that's why we didn't have
Maybe it's that.
cosplaying tonight. Cosplay making.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah.
Oh. Okay.
I was off because I was making dinner.
What'd you make?
Rice and salad plus raspberry chicken and
there you
feta
go.
cheese with apple slices.
That
Not
sounds
bad.
good.
You're like rice and salad. I'm like, oh, that sounds really sad. And then you added the other things. I was like, okay, that's a meal. I was just picturing this in my head, like you sitting at your dinner table and there's like this tiny bowl of rice, this tiny thing of salad, and you're like, that's my meal.
Nah, I wouldn't have gotten away with that. Not the spy would have been very unhappy with that as a meal.
Are you sure you two aren't an old married couple?
Well, aren't they?
Sometimes they act like it. Anyway.
Last night I made a big bowl of pasta, and yeah, that's my dinner for the week. Leftovers.
Hey, leftovers are good.
They are.
Wait,
all right.
Is this a net?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry,
You found it.
I was having difficulties. It looked like it was disconnected with the way it was written, but it wasn't actually.
No.
So.
Not at all. All right. So we're all okay with as a player name. Is there anything else that you recognize as a word? And feel free to like sound it out a bit and try to remember hearing that word before.
Nada, I think. On ta.
Hmm?
Anata.
Anata? Yeah. What do you think that means? You correctly identified it as a word. What does it mean?
I'm trying to remember. I know I've heard it as a word before. Can't
Mm-hmm.
remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alright, I don't remember it.
It's a form of you.
Okay. That'd be why I recognized as having been a word I knew.
There's a few different ways to say you in Japanese. Anata is one of the more common ones.
I guess the next word would be chitomo.
Mm-hmm. Chitomo is like not even a bit, not even a little.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, I should probably not have the not in there. I would translate it as a bit or even a little. The not part is somewhere else in the sentence. Sorry.
Okay.
Now, there's another part of the sentence I want to pick out for you. Nai. Nai is not a word on its own. It's a suffix. I'm sure you've taken enough English classes to know what a suffix is. Nai added to pretty much anything that you can add it to, which is a lot of words, makes the entire sentence negative. It's usually added to verbs.
Okay. So kind of like in German when you say kinda in the whole sentence makes the sentence negative.
Yeah. So koagatenai is it's the word koagateru. It's koagateru turned negative. And koagateru is to be afraid.
So toaga.
So koagateru is to be afraid, and then you drop the ru and add nai instead. Now you've got koagatenai, not afraid. Or not, or the state of not being afraid. Ne is it's a sentence ender, and I have you ever met somebody in like their usually teen years or younger? Usually it's kids. They end every other sentence with like right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what ne means. It's that person asking you right. When so what it's doing is it's asking the person they're talking to respond with it in the affirmative or negative.
The last one would be me tai.
Mitai, yes. So this is another conjugation of a verb. Miru means to look. And then if you add tai as a suffix to a verb, it means well, usually it means want to, Mitai is irregular in that it means like looks like. One of
Sorry,
the
what was tie as
irregularities.
a
You just have to.
suffix?
All right. So tie in general, if you just use it as a suffix in general for most verbs, it means want to X verb. Okay. So X tie is like want to do X. However, mitai is irregular. Mitai means looks like. You just have to memorize that mitai means looks like. The tie rule though is pretty much for every other verb I can think of right now.
Okay.
Conjugating verbs in Japanese is actually not as bad as it is in most romanticized languages.
Yeah. It's so far it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, no.
The amount of irregularities English has, it's like an
Oh God. Or like the number of verb forms that Spanish has.
German's bad with for that, like the different forms, because there's 14 different tenses.
Yup. There's like 12 in Spanish or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something around there.
So
There's 6 in Latin.
you do not look like you're afraid.
Yeah. I think any more is implied here, but yeah, you don't look like you're afraid is definitely the direct meaning of the sentence.
Why should I be, Mom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty good translation of the sentence which you just wrote there.
Now on to the next part.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
You know, adding quotation marks to the parts you actually translate might help them stand out from all the rest of your notes.
Yeah.
As being the actual translations of the lines. All right.
I'm doing it in big blocks so you can tell that it's the beginning.
Oh yeah, that too.
blocks.
But like, yeah, that will also like if you're looking through all this, being like, well, what was the translation? That'll help you find it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Begin sounding it out again.
Help. Ma. Yeah. Sa. Ma. Sa. Ka. It's nice that they actually.
Oh, good. I get to talk to you about the particle A. We'll worry about that after you're done, though.
Okay. I should remember. Wait a minute. I know I struggle with this one every time. This one here is going to be so, right?
Correct.
Yes. I was like, I struggle with this one every single time because I'm like, it doesn't look right. Then it's because it's so. I just have to remember that. Getting there.
I think if you remember the one specifically that you have trouble with, you'll actually remember them quicker because you're like, I have trouble with this one, and then you remember which ones you have trouble with. It's a pretty short list,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, I know na right now very much so because of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because yes.
I'm gonna stop you right there though. That hey, you wrote down the correct one, but because it's a particle, it's pronounced a. The H is silent,
Okay.
and it's basically its own word in quotation marks. I'd probably put a space the way you're doing this. I'll explain later, but in your notes, have it soto e, not soto he.
Okay.
It's the same thing as ha and wa.
Mhm. Had to explain that one to Courtney. The
Oh,
Yeah, that one takes a little bit to explain.
That
Oh,
was
welcome
good.
back.
Hi, sorry, I kind of snuck right back in.
Yeah. You didn't say much when you left, but we figured it must have been important.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I was just I'll get to explaining it in a little more detail later, but there's another particle in this sentence, and it follows the same rule as when you write wa, you use the character for ha, but you mean
Mhm.
wa. Yeah, same thing here. We have he written on the box, but because it's a particle, we pronounce it a.
Okay.
No, that wasn't. Oops, that wasn't that. No, this was the. This was. Me. Can't believe I forgot that one. Like,
Whoa, whoa! I think you missed a character
oh,
after the n.
oh, yeah. Sorry. There you
We haven't made a mistake. You just skipped over one.
go. I was like, I got this, and then just, yeah. That's one this small. Yeah?
Close, but no,
No? What?
no.
Wait. Is, yeah? Maybe? Wait, no.
Well, yeah, you're correct that the ya is small and is going to modify it, but you have the wrong character there. You're very close though.
It's not Z?
It's not Z, no.
Eh? Am
Well, I suppose it could be, but it's not pronounced Z. It's pronounced G,
Oh, it's a
which is
J.
usually yeah, it's
it's a,
yeah,
it's a,
supposed to be J. Assume it's J unless unless I correct you otherwise. 9 times out of 10 it's G,
G.
not Z.
Okay. I have to just remember it looks like a backwards J, so with a tenten over it, but
Hmm.
so be jaw.
And so with the ya, it's Ja. Yeah, exactly.
You and jaw. Interesting.
Hmm.
Te, no, de, she, wait, show,
Hmm. Correct.
Nai made everything. Wait, no, this is at the beginning. Nai at the end is So at the beginning, it's not the same.
All right. Is there anything in this sentence that makes sense or pops out to you, other than whatever I told you about the particle?
Isn't woe particle?
Yes. Woe is the particle that you're familiar with. Yep.
Okay. There's a tie here, and I learned that ties
Mm-hmm.
are wants to, so I have a feeling that separates this from the non-te, so it's mini
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kitai. So I'm guessing it's ikitai right there.
Yep. Yep. Ikitai is a word. Yep.
Which means once ike was
Iku is the
okay,
iku is the in like present
and
tense.
that
That was.
to go. No, ike is.
Yes.
Wait, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you got it correctly.
Wants to go.
All right. So what does want to go? Yes. Yes. You translated something. Yay! All right. So the next thing I have to tell you, because there's no way you'll get it, because I haven't told you yet. Me is also we've also like that. Me is also from Miru. Okay. And then the reason it's mini ikitai is because it's want to go look. Does that make sense? So we've added ni to ikitai because we're kind of combining the two ideas.
Okay.
And when you want to combine a verb to another verb, that's how you do it. Ni.
Okay. So the ni is a combiner?
Ni kind of combines two verb ideas. So that's want to go look is those two words together. Yosu is a little harder of a word to translate. I translated to something like the situation or like how things are. So the entire phrase Yosuo mini ikitai is like want to go look how things are, want to go see what the situation is. Does that make sense? Like that entire phrase together, I definitely know that together that means you're trying to check out how things are. You want to go check on things. That's Yosuo mini ikitai. I want to go check on whatever on whatever. Yeah. So that's a solid phrase there.
And then we have Misaka.
Now with all that said to you, anything else from the stuff we haven't touched in the sentence? Anything else pop out to you? The end of the sentence, there's some stuff that I've told you about before.
The ne is right.
Yes. And that's why it's a question, even though there's no ka. Come on, there's a suffix you just learned about.
Nai is here.
Yes.
So, but it's okay. So it's even at the beginning. It modifies it to.
No, it's not at the beginning of something. Janai. I realize that there's a space in there. I want you to at least half of the time ignore those spaces.
Okay, so it's.
Japanese sentences don't normally have spaces in them at all.
Okay. So this is just supposed to be like that.
Janai. Janai is very, very common. Yun is it's a conjugated yu. Yu is to say or to speak. So yun janai is like I would conjugate that as like you're not going to say something along those lines.
Janai is not.
It makes whatever's before it negative.
So that's all it's doing is
Or not.
making.
It's making the yun is the idea of say or to say, and then the janai is like you're not going to do that. Masaka is kind of similar. It's kind of an expression that implies surprise. Like
No way.
Yeah. Or this is another one of those that's hard to translate. If you gave me an example sentence to be surprised about, I could be Masaka, and then it would be usually you say Masaka at the start of a sentence, and then you follow with like something that you would be really surprised if the person you're talking to did. Hi, Akira.
Hey, Ben. This seems like fun.
Watch my stream. You get to watch everything. Translating.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. I need to call my mom before she throws a conniption fit. So.
Oh, okay. Take 5, everybody on the stream.
It's just gonna sit here, and I'm gonna mute myself and go call my.
All right,
mom.
go talk to your mother. That's
'Cause
important.
She is literally throwing a conniption fit right now on my.
Meanwhile,
phone.
I can answer anybody else's questions who's been watching. That seems like a productive use of my time.
Earthbound.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I don't think we've met. So,
No, most of the people in the channel have probably not met you, Andrew.
I'm just like to give introductions to new people.
Mm-hmm. Saying hello is good. No questions? I guess we could wait for her to get back. That's fair.
I'm trying to play catch up.
Oh, that's also fair.
With all of what you
Yeah, I mean,
guys-
I'm giving lots of information out very quickly, so
I've got a marble composition notebook that I am now filling with Japanese and all sorts of notations right now.
excellent.
I'm just slowly digesting it silently.
Well,
And thinking-
notes, you're gonna forget everything. That's a lot.
I know. I'm also trying to learn Japanese, but I have my own way. I have my own books.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
So she made a note saying "mi" is from Miru. What is Miru?
Miru is to look
Okay,
or to see.
that's really funny because the Spanish is mira.
Mira.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mira me. Look
There
at me.
are actually a couple of Spanish borrow words in Japanese. There's only a few,
Such
but
as?
the most commonly pointed to example is pan.
Oh
Bread?
yeah, bread.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny because pung in Chinese means fat.
That is funny.
I think that's one
Usually-
word I forgot.
Usually you call animals fat as like a term of endearment.
Mm-hmm.
Pung pung. Yeah, like oh, little fatty. So pung. Yeah,
Is that Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin.
Oh, okay, that's probably
Cantonese.
why I didn't know it. I tried learning it because my family is Cantonese, so it's like I should've
Oh,
known.
okay.
I really don't like Cantonese. It has like 7 to 9 tones. Ugh.
Oh God.
That's why
There's
I never
only
learned
there's
it.
only 2 in Japanese, and even sometimes I get thrown with that.
So each of these words is supposed to have a tone.
It only matters for some words.
Okay.
The most commonly pointed to example there is you have If again, I'm gonna say this flat first because I'm a Westerner. Hashi,
Mhm.
depending on the tonal, can either mean bridge or chopsticks. And I'm
Okay.
gonna get this wrong, but I
They're one and the
believe,
same.
I believe, hashi is chopsticks, and hashi is bridge.
You
I
both
I
sound.
probably
I'm
I
not sure if we
probably
both
got
know.
that wrong, and I'm very bad at doing the tones. It's a
Though,
lot less important in Japanese than it is in a lot of languages that have that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
though also, I believe context could probably
Yeah,
solve.
context usually solves this for us foreigners.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Usually,
cross
but a
the
native
chopstick?
speaker can pick up on it.
I was
Oh,
thinking, it's like,
yes.
when will you use chopsticks and bridge in the same sentence?
I mean, you know what? I bet there's a Rakugo that does that.
Probably.
All right,
Does
time to find
everyone
it.
here know what Rakugo is?
No.
It's
It's
like Japanese comedic storytelling.
I
Yeah.
told one of them on the server, but I don't think you were here for that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
The story of Jugemu.
Jugamu.
Oh, tell her the story. of
Yes,
Jugemu.
tell her the story. This is great content while we're paused.
Do you remember the name? All right, I'm gonna mute myself just to make sure I remember it. Okay.
This is like the most classic Rakugo of all time.
Okay.
It's a folk story that's been passed down for generations. And for good reason. It's fucking crazy.
Okay. For some reason, I still remember it. So, there's this couple. They were gonna have a baby, and they wanted to name their son something very special, something that would last for a very long time and would give him very good luck and prosperity in the future. But
Mhm.
they didn't know what to name him. So they had this great idea. They're all like, "Hey, let's go to a shrine," and they end up going to the shrine and they meet the priest there, and they ask the priest, "Hey, could you give our son a special name that'll give him peace and prosperity for the future?"
Mhm.
And the priest says, "Sure. Why not name your son Jugemu? Jugemu is the name of the main protagonist in a very famous story, and he was known to have much fortune in the future." The father says, "Yeah,
All right.
that's all right, but do you have anything else?" The priest says again, "All right. Why not Goku no Surikire?" In the story that Goku no Surikire is in, she takes a bath and she washes her clothes by rubbing two stones together, and the time it takes for those two stones to break is about 2 billion years. And father says again, that's decent, but do you have anything else?" This goes on for hours. The sun is going down, and they still haven't decided on a name. And so the two of them, being very smart, intelligent people, decided to mix all the names that they had brainstormed into one name. This boy's name was Jugemu, Goku no Surikire, Kaijari Sugyo no, Uraimatsu, Furaimatsu, Kuraimatsu, Sumatakoro, Yaburakoji no, Buraikoji no Paipo no Shuringen no Gurendai no Pompukupi no Pompukunan Nano Chokyume no Chiosuke. And so our little Jugemu, of course, he grows up, and he has quite a few friends, and one of them, Yuki, loves to walk with him to school. And being the good friend that Yuki is, she comes to Jugemu's house one day before school and yells, "Jugemu, Jugemu, Goku no Surikire, Kaijiri Sugyo no Uramatsu, Furamatsu, Kuramatsu, Sumatakoro, Yaburakoji no Burakoji no Paipo no Shooting and no Gurundai no Pomgupi no Pomgunan, Chekimi no Chosuke-kun." It's time for school. Jugemu's mother comes out to the window and says, "Are ma Yuki ne, I am so sorry, but our poor little Jugemu, Goku no Surikire, Kaiju no Oroimatsu, Furamatsu, Kuraimatsu, Somatakoro, Yabukoji no Purekoji no Paipo no Shooting and no Gurundai no." Dang it! Gurundai no. Jugemu, Goku no Surikire, Kaiju no Uramatsu, Furamatsu, Kuraimatsu, Somatakoro, Yabukoji no Purekoji no Paipo no Shooting and no Gurundai no Pomkupi no Pomkunan, Chokimi no Chosuke is still sleeping. Let me go wake him up. And so Jugemo's mother goes up to Jugemo in his bed and starts shaking him abruptly. Jugemo, Jugemo, go to Surigere Kaji Sugiyo no Urematsu, Furematsu, Kurematsu, Samtakoro, Yabukoji no Buran Koji, no Pipe, no shooting, and no good night, no Pokipiran, Pokinan, Chugman, no Josuke. Wake up. It's time to go to school. But he doesn't. So Jugemo's mother goes to the window again. Kinchan, I'm so sorry. Yukine, let me try again. He's still not waking up. Goes back to his bed. Jugemo, go no city. Urematsu, Furematsu, Kurematsu, Samtakoro, Yabukoji no Burekon, no Pipe, no shooting, and no good night, no Pokinan, Chugman, no Josuke. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. His name was so long that school was already over by the time she called. Yeah.
I have a question. I
Well
have several.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
Okay, non-question first. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
We're all watching my stream.
Welcome to the Weeb channel. I feel like that was a very appropriate welcome to the Weeb channel.
Second question. And this is important. Have you ever just sat down and opened the Word of God and just read through it? Because I feel like you need to after I just experienced that story. Jesus Christ! What the hell?
Oh, I'm impressed with the
Experience the
Shiro
joy
saying
that his
name.
Japanese Rakugo friend.
Has
I
that
thought that was going somewhere.
What?
Nope. Unfortunately, his
punchline.
name was too long and he couldn't finish.
Yeah, there's a second part to that, but it's not really that funny. So I'm like,
And
Fair
the first part is really like the more interesting part.
My gosh.
Alright.
Actually,
Anyway.
no, the second part is kind of funny now that I think about it.
Okay, but another time, Anna
Yeah,
Haley is
I'm
back.
Sorry, they were
for
You're
intermission.
explaining this to me.
It was a great intermission, but intermission's over now. All right.
I will leave you all with this. Someone can be 18 years old. They were born in 2000. Akira, real in shock at your age. Anyway, goodbye.
God damn it. I hate you
Wow,
so much,
mind
Scott.
blown because
Wow.
we can add 18 to 2000.
Yeah, no, it's a. Me and Akira share the sentiment. We're both afraid of age.
Oh,
age is just a number.
That's fair.
Did we skip
I-
the
That's
guy
not what you,
that-
that's
or
not what you say in the courthouse.
penguin in here?
Oh God! Oh God! Shiro, bad Shiro.
Nice.
Hey, if you're
It's
gonna
like,
make
no.
that comment, better
All
stand up.
right, where the hell were we with translating the
We're talking
sentence?
about surprise. Surprise!
Oh, okay.
Shiro
See,
had
I
a-
make-
Sasaka,
I make the
Shiro had a
comments.
long
All right,
time.
I
so-
test people.
So
to
I
see
was
if
trying
they
to
don't
say
bring it up.
Masaka is something you would say at the start of any sentence where you would the rest of the sentence is about something that you probably don't want the person you're talking to do, and or you would be very surprised if they did. Or like you're in this case it's a mother telling her child that she doesn't want them to do the thing. So yeah, write down all the notes you want about that.
Julie, do the
I'm
thing.
sure we'll see. I'm sure we'll see that again sometime, and I'll get to talk about it in a different context. But it doesn't translate very well to English. It's one of those words that doesn't.
Okay. Probably surprise. I feel like what I have for the note for that is fairly decent. Just that implies surprise. Or should I put more to it?
I feel like I could get across a lot of the meaning of the word by my expression if I were to do the line, but I also don't trust myself to do the line properly. So in my head, I keep hearing it like with like you could interpret this line a couple ways, but the one I interpreted is like slightly pissed. Masaka soto e yosu o mi ni ikitai nante yun janai desho ne. Something like
You're
that.
not going outside.
Yeah, and it's the Masaka that gives it that whole tone. Does that make any sense?
Surprise of unhappiness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds appropriate. Just in the notes.
Okay. Soto means outside of wherever you currently are, or just outside in general. Now we get to talk about the fun particle that you haven't seen before. So there are actually two particles that can denote location. One is what we call the destination particle, and the other we call the location particle. Ni is a lot simpler. If you have ni after something, you're saying that that something is there. It's very plain and simple. I cup ni table ni cup. Oh, I put like so. If you use it like that, you're saying I put the cup on the table. It's very simple. A is destination. So when she's saying Soto A, she's saying A as a destination. Soto outside as a destination. You go outside. See, you're going there. You're not there. You're not there already. You're going there. It makes it more future tense than present tense. Ni would be usually a present tense location. A is always future tense. Now there is an exception. If I address a letter to someone, that letter is to that person. You would use a there. That's the only example I can think of where you'd use a in the present tense, though. But it's because it's addressed to that person. It's going to them in the future. That's how that idea is expressed in Japanese. In fact, usually the title line of letters in Japanese begin with name of the person you're writing to, and then particle a. That's how you would write Dear X in Japanese.
Okay. Now that I finished writing a giant paragraph on that.
Yeah, that was again a lot of grammatical information to digest. Okay. Is there anything we haven't covered in the sentence? We know what Masaka is. We know what Soto is. We know what Yoso is. Minikitai. We know that.
Nante?
Nante. 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 I know that. Yeah. Okay. So that's a conjugation of ite. So this is another. We've taken the kanji nani and ite and we've put them together.
Okay.
Wait, no, because yun is the to say in the sentence. Why would it be there twice? Nante. I want kanji on that word. That's the only thing in this sentence that's tripping me up here.
This is 16-bit. They don't have.
I know they don't have kanji. Even without that, though, from context, we can definitely translate the whole sentence. What do you think the whole sentence means? Let's start with that.
Wait, let me just.
We might come back to Nante, we might not. Nante.
Right? That was your thought on it.
Oh! English just. I remember it now. Yeah, it's its own word.
Okay.
Nante.
Just.
Not as in like correct or justice or anything like that.
Justice
As in
like
like
happening now.
only, just as in like only. A very common phrase is "nantene," just kidding. That's what that means, even though it's not literally saying "just kidding." That's what it means, though. Nantene. If I said something really mean and I said "nantene," it would kind of be like the I kind of like me saying "kappa."
Yeah. Yeah, the literal translation would be like just right. But
Okay, so you have all the parts. How can we assemble this into a sentence that makes any sense?
Sorry, I had to type that out. Okay. So. Alright, so.
You
You're
probably
not
want to
saying
start
you
with the
want to
biggest
just
phrase,
go check out on the situation, are you? Right?
or you're not gonna say you want to go look outside, are you?
Okay.
But Mom, I woke up in the middle of the night.
Did we ever translate? I'm gonna say this so wrong. Naideshone.
Okay. Nai
Was part of
is part of Genai.
Oh, right. Sorry, I've got it on 2 lines because my notebook pages are small.
And the show. Oh, the show I may not
Oh
have
yeah,
translated.
the show.
The show ne is you usually can just translate as right, but the show by itself I would have to translate as something like show. It's like it's putting stress on the ne, like grr. I'm having trouble here. The show and ne both kind of mean right, so having them both is just kind of stressing the idea, I think.
Okay.
Is the point. Like you could drop one or the other and the sentence would mean exactly the same. I literally was just sitting there sounding it out in my head just to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Gotcha.
Has a lot of notes for that one.
Oh yeah. Hopefully the further we go though, the less like we're gonna find overlap and then we don't have to keep writing the same things over again.
Yeah, I didn't take any more notes in Thai. Or
Yeah, exactly. And we're only a couple sentences in.
let's run it.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's do it. Are we gonna make it out of your house today? Just saying, we haven't even gotten to like the tutorial battle yet. Not even close.
Oh my gosh.
You still have to meet the rest of the family.
I don't think we need to translate that.
Dot dot dot.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We have a line. This one should be a fast translate though.
Mm-hmm.
Wakatawa.
All right, so I'm going to tell you the one part of this is going to throw you off, and it should hopefully let you understand the rest. Wa is just a feminine generic sentence ender. Japanese people like to have sentence enders in their sentence. It's why you hear things like desu a lot. Whenever there's a lack of one like ne or ka, they'll add one of those other generic ones. Wa is just the generic one that any feminine speaker can use.
Okay.
So just write down wa is generic feminine sentence ender. Specifically feminine. I'm going to relate a horror story here, guys. Remember, I learned my Japanese, or at least early on, by watching lots and lots and lots of anime when I was in high school. And the main characters in those shows were predominantly female. So when I first started taking lessons from a native speaker when I got to college, I was subconsciously adding wa at the end of a lot of my sentences, and she couldn't stop giggling at me. And the worst part is she had to explain to me why it was funny.
Oh no.
I was so embarrassed. I think if I had kept insisting on doing it, she might have been like asked if I was trans or something.
Oh man.
Okay, so what's the rest of the sentence there?
Okay. Wakata.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like.
I know you've heard
Yeah, I
this
was about to
before.
say, I know this one. Wait a minute. I know this one. Actually, we have this as well. People get to see a little bit of my background flash for a second as I switch around.
Oh, you've done that a couple times.
You can see I have lots
Pretty
of
artwork.
beautiful anime backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, other Japanese notes.
No, I don't think I have that one in these notes.
I know you've heard it. You went to Japan, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it.
All right, so wakaru is the present tense, just like generic present tense of to understand. Okay, and then changing it to ta, is putting in the past tense.
Okay. Yeah, wakaru,
So-
I have heard that. That was, I think wakata
Yeah.
was.
Wakata is just the past tense of it, and it's in this case, we're saying wakata, putting it in the past tense like that means like I understand. It's giving approval.
So many people.
We're doing
Yeah, open up the
Japanese,
stream
learning.
and yeah, we're doing Japanese things. This is gonna become a regular thing. Although I don't think we're gonna have this many people in the channel on a regular basis. At least I wasn't expecting it.
I'll try and show up.
Okay. Well, everyone's welcome. Just
Huh? What?
yeah. Again, if you want to know what we're doing, click on the link to the stream and now streaming.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same as last time. Right?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Except now we're getting dialogue options.
Yeah. Now we're actually doing dialogue. Also, if you're not going to talk a whole lot, please mute yourself.
I'm
No
just gonna
background
go to
noise.
the Battle Royale channel
Okay.
and play Battle Royales.
All right, you do
Have
that
fun.
Bye bye.
later.
Bye.
Yep. Oh, I bet another reason this threw you off is because it's informal. Because the formal version of this would be wakarimashita.
Oh, okay.
So the informal drops it for sta.
Mhm.
It basically drops the masu and does sta, and that's for any verb. That's just the difference between formal and informal. So because this is a mother talking to her son, we have informal here. But if you were talking to a stranger, you would say wakarimashita. So I'd call that the past tense familiar, whereas wakarimashita is the past tense formal. So that's mashita versus sta.
Yeah.
And I'm pronouncing the tsu there so you can hear it, but you know it's silent.
Oh. Yeah, wakarimasu is present tense, right?
Wakarimasu is present tense formal, yes.
And then
That's really the only reason why you have more than just a few only reason why you have more forms in Japanese of verbs than you do in English is because of the formal informal thing. In the ru form, the wakaru, that is technically present tense informal, although it's also the root of the verb. Whenever you conjugate it, you always put the verb into its ru form if you can, and then change it after that.
okay. I think yep, I understand. Wakarimasu. It'll be like whenever my mom's yelling at me in German and I go, Verstehe, verstehe. Just so she'll stop yelling at me. Means I understand in German.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Don't hit reset, please. Please don't hit reset.
Wait, what?
You were hovering over reset for like a good 10 seconds there on the screen.
Not again.
Not again, not like this. Although I suppose we could just walk down here and skip throughout
Actually,
the
none of
dialogue.
it actually reset in the end. It loaded fine, so
Yeah.
there was no.
Oh, good.
Right.
When I thought that it had.
All right, the first two characters, the first two characters of this are in katakana, and the rest is hiragana.
Mhm.
And you'll figure out why that is immediately.
Actually, the first thing our Japanese teacher taught us was wakarimasu and wakarimasen.
Yes, sen is the formal.
Polite.
It's the polite way of saying no.
The polite.
It's a negative.
Yeah, the polite negative. Whereas wakanai would be the informal negative.
We were not allowed to say that.
Well, yeah, because you're talking
because it's our senpai.
You're talking to your
our
senpai
sensei.
or your sensei. Yeah, exactly.
So what was the informal negative?
Wakanai.
Wakanai?
Wakanai.
Was it double N? Was it?
Yes.
Also, did everyone hear the difference there? I said wakan.
Wakanai.
And I said wakanai.
It's not wakanai. It's wakanai.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. Wakanai. Wakanai.
Like how I spelled it?
A nai, not ni.
Oh.
Nai. That you wrote wakani. It's wakanai.
Yeah,
Informal negative present. All right.
Also can be the katakana.
You only have to find one character because it's just repeated twice. Oh, this is probably a good time to talk about this character specifically, but I'll let you find it first. So I'm gonna have to give a little lecture here in just a second, but find the character first.
Is it?
This has to do with kanji, but it's a rule in the entire language, so I really want to talk about it while I have the chance and remember.
Oh, I don't know if I know this. I don't.
You're probably not going to. It has to do with that first character you're seeing there in the dialogue box if you're watching the stream.
Oh, not. I thought you were talking about like Wa when they use different characters to.
No, not exactly. You'll see.
Okay.
Are you having trouble finding it?
Can you give me so
Okay.
By the way, I always brain fart on what those are called again because they don't exist in English. What are those called? Like wa and ni and ga.
Particles. Particles.
kind of exist in English, sort of.
Not really.
They don't.
We have the and ah and all that, but that's not the same.
In fact, the is closer to. Well, it's not. It's not Desu, but it's closer to Desu. It's.
Desu and the don't have.
They don't mean. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, they don't
you
mean anything. You're correct. And they're on their own.
Ringu, apple, the apple, Ringu this.
I put Desu as more of what I was talking about earlier. Japanese really like to have sentence enders. Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, mama? Just.
Yes. Yes, you got it right.
English mama, basically.
Yes. Very, very informal form of mother. Literally borrowed from English. So the reason I want to bring up this character specifically is katakana ma by itself added after any kanji or means that kanji is repeated twice.
Interesting. So.
That's a great shortcut. That's a.
And so the character who my username is a namesake of. His name, notice, has multiple ra's in it. The first one is written with the kanji, but the second one is written with ma. The katakana ma. Because it's just repeated twice. So if you're ever reading anything and you see a kanji followed by katakana ma, you just know that kanji is repeated twice.
Okay.
Cool.
The most common word in the entire language I can think of that does this on a frequent basis is zen zen, which means not at all. And it's literally just the kanji zen repeated twice. Zen zen. And so you would actually write that as the kanji zen and then katakana ma. All right, continue with the rest of the sentence now that my lecture is over.
That would be the other circular one that has more. Wait, no. New, I think. Is this next one new where there's so much going on? It looks like it's a star in it.
I think it's new.
I think it's new as
It
well.
looks like new.
I
Barely.
was like, I think that's new, but
Yeah, I mean, you're correct in the way you did that. It looks kind of like meh, and then it's
yeah, that's always how I think of
and
new.
then it
Is
has
it's like
and then it's even more complicated.
yeah, it's like I think of them as no is the least complicated of the circular looking ones. Then meh is the one with a V in it, and then new is the one that's
New
like
is the one that's
everything.
even more complicated than that. Yep.
Ah, we have a dashite there. Or shite. Well, no, that. Maybe I don't know what that is. I feel like I do know what that is. We'll get back to it.
Wait, you got one
What?
wrong in there. The one after new.
Yeah.
Not
Did I
ha.
mess that up? Oops.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the word is fine, but that
Oh,
character is incorrect.
it's doesn't have the little circle at the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got
Oh yeah, the left half is just a line, and yeah. Oh, you were talking. Yeah, you thought it was hot. Yeah. No, the right side does not have the loop. Yep.
That was why I messed it up. It's ke.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Correct.
No, I saw it and I looked at it really fast, so I'd missed that it didn't have the circle, and I was just like, oh ha. So yeah. Then our favorite me. Cursive H.
You are our favorite Nalia.
Minnie again. Okay. So we are looking at something. Or I think, yeah. There we go.
Oh.
So we know Desho is a right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This second sentence is helping me remember what it can mean in other contexts. So in this context, I would translate it more as likely to, or likely on its own. Probably is another good word to translate it as here. Yeah, probably is what I would translate it here. That sounds most natural.
Okay. Mini Ikun.
Yeah, so that's the similar thing we just saw the last sentence, but we've changed tenses here. Tenses, yeah.
So this is still look go look. But it would be
Iku is unfortunately irregular, so I'm just gonna help you
Okay.
out here. Mini kun to show would mean probably going to look. Future tense.
That's what I was about to say. Is it future tense? Because that's what I was thinking.
It's future tense. It's future
Okay.
tense. It's also Iku is also irregular. Whenever we talk about Iku, Like whenever in your notes somewhere where you're talking about verbs, put iku in like in its own category. Iku is annoying.
Yes, I don't have it listed here as thought I had it listed as
Yeah, I'm glad we used wakaru as our like basic verb to conjugate because that's wakaru is normal. Iku is not normal.
actually me.
First of all, iku is the root.
Mm-hmm.
You notice how it does not end with ru.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it's not regular.
There we go. That's in the other notes. It's in special category.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Um,
Okay, so we got that. We have the show now. Kara, I'm gonna tell you because I see this Kara here. This is not a complete sentence. What the Kara here is, I would directly translate is because, but in Japanese phrasing is different. Like we're gonna put our prepositions usually at the start of the sentence instead of the end.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so this whole sentence, this everything in the box we see so far is a preposition, and and the because is tying it to the rest of the of what we're gonna scroll to next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
and the because is not the preposition is not because in the next text box. It's because this text box.
Ah. Okay.
Okay. So when translating to English, you got to take that kara and take it all the way back to the start of the sentence and because and then start the sentence. You have to do all sorts of mental gymnastics when translating Japanese like that. It's so much fun. Now, we get to talk about ga. I know you guys have talked about wa and how wa is usually the subject marker. Ga can also be the subject marker, and when both are used, wa becomes the topic marker, and ga becomes the subject marker. I don't know if I've given you the speech before, but I might as well give it again. So right now, because of the previous sentence we've had, you, the player character, are the subject,
Mm-hmm.
or like the topic, right? We're talking about you, right? The last phrase was about you're not gonna go outside, are you? Right? We know that you are the topic, and so when this next sentence does not have wa, but instead has ga for mama ga,
Mm-hmm.
right? She has become the subject of the sentence grammatically, but you are still the topic, and that is important for inferring things.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a
Ga
second.
is she.
Ga is specifically subject marker. Wa can be subject or topic, but if they're both used, it's always topic.
If both are used, wa is always the
Wa
topic?
is always topic.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know when you're done writing those notes down.
Yep, I'm finished.
So the next verb after mama is tometemo. Tomete or so what? I am having trouble backtracking this into the infinite or root. Why cannot I even know the kanji? Why can I not remember the present tense of this? Anyway, the word means to stop. That I'm trying to Tamaru. There we go. Tamaru is to stop. Temo is like even if. So the words you're getting here in this jumbled even if and to stop. And so that entire top phrase, even if mama were to stop, is how I translate that. And then the implied is you, because you are still the topic, right?
Mhm.
So when you have a topic like that that's implied, anytime that there's a part of speech that's just left out, it's assumed that that is the topic. Is that making sense? So in this case, the object, or one of the objects of the sentence, because there can be multiple, one of the objects of the sentence is you. But because you are the topic, it's implied that's who it is. So even if mama were to stop you, heya wo, heya is room, and wo is another object marker. No, tome temo. Tome temo. You. Oh, you got it. Never mind. I'm blind. I was looking at your notes and not even seeing you already wrote it. Never mind. Heyo. Room object marker.
Yeah.
Right. Nuke dashite. This is another. We've taken two verbs and combined them. Nukeru is to get out, and dashite is to leave. So very nuke dashite. Gee, I wonder what that means. Can you take a guess in this context? Nuke dashite. And we just said that you and the room are the objects.
Even if mama stop you, you would still leave this room.
You'd still, yeah, leave would be one way to say it. I would say escape.
Okay.
Is how I would translate nuke dashite. You'd still escape. And the te part. So whenever you have multiple verbs in a sentence, you connect them with te. So that's why it's dashite, mini kun desho. So we have multiple verbs here. Nuke dashite and then mini kun. And they're both like what's that word? Like pancakes in English. There's a term for it grammatically. Compound words? That I think that's the term. We've got compound verbs.
Yeah.
Nuke dashite, mini kun desho kara.
So, because even if mama were to stop you, you would escape to go look.
Escape and
go look.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That is how I would translate that. Right there, what you just said. Write it down.
So is the te what it's telling us that it's an and? Or?
Yeah, the te after the nuke dash. So, if it weren't that. Nuke dash. Yeah, it would just be nuke dasu if there wasn't the te there. So it turns nuke das into nuke dashte. I honestly didn't expect us to get so grammatically advanced this early. I should probably be having my actual school notes here. I'll have them out next time. They're buried in my backpack, and it's dark in here. I haven't needed them so far, but it would have been. I probably would have been a little faster. Yeah. The gist is that te after verbs connects them with what we would translate as and. So that you can have if you notice a pattern about the way the Japanese do their sentences is they basically just stack similar parts of speech one after another until they're out of those parts of speech for their sentence. And then you can still have things like prepositions like you do in English, but they phrase them differently.
Yeah. Hi. And. Alright. Next one.
Is Nick yelling at you? Okay, next one. Yeah, next. Yes. Next phrase.
You can
Go.
also connect every verb with ni just to trigger Ben. Just
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
With knee?
Don't listen to him. He's trolling you and me simultaneously.
Okay. More katakana.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for the stream to catch up to you. Ah, here we go. Sure, where's the katakana?
The first one.
The first is not. That's not katakana.
I messed
Yeah.
up. That was.
Yep. It is a little blocky looking, but no, it's
I
not.
think
It's
I've
not
done that
katakana. It's just the
before when I thought
pixelated.
that it was.
Yeah, it's just the pixelated font.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's a se. Right? I think.
Hey,
No.
the last word of the sentence you should definitely get. I know you know that word.
Probably.
Or phrase rather. You've used it before, so I know you know it. In fact, it's in your other notes.
I think it is.
I saw it a couple times you went over.
Yeah, I know that one. Okay, sorry. I was getting distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Chi. This is chi, not sa. I think. Yeah.
Yes. And then has a ya next to it, so it's cha. Oh God. No, I'm gonna let that be a surprise.
Uh-oh.
I think Andrew has played this game before, right? In English.
Yes, I have. Only in
come-
English.
Come to me, a different channel for just a sec. I'll be right back.
For left turn devices.
That's ominous.
No.
Oh, duh. No wonder that looks familiar. I'm retranslating that same first line. I.
No, you gotta look where the little marker is, the diamond. That tells you where.
Okay. It's like, you're saying that's Sam. I'm like, no, it's not. Yep, you're right. I'm looking in the wrong place. I can give you the name of that app I've been using. It's actually kind of helpful.
Okay.
Because it has you memorize the word, but then also write it, and then do it from memory.
What I miss?
Eh?
Everything you've written so far looks correct. Oh, it's the character you keep getting tripped up on.
Yeah.
The same
I
one.
wrote it.
Ben, clarifying question.
Uh-huh.
When there's a small ya, do you use the
You
wa?
modify the one before it. So instead of chi, it becomes cha.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering.
Yeah, cha.
Ah, okay.
Spelling.
CHA works specifically for this one, but usually you do include the Y.
Usually you do include the Y. Okay.
Yeah, but CHA works in this case because it's a CH. I mean, if you no matter which way you spell it, it's pronounced the same. Cha, either way.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I know. I know that. I was trying to. I didn't want to just point out the Y without knowing for sure. I was just pretty sure because there's no other way to say cha.
Okay, that's good to know. Even though it's a long ways away from here.
Itarasha would be, I am going and we'll be back.
That was the literal yes.
Right?
Well, Iteki Masu, I
Yeah.
think, is what you're thinking of. Itarashai is the thing someone says before that, or the other person says. In this case, your
Yeah.
mother.
I guess it's.
All right. Shall we start translating? Because
Yeah,
you got all the
sorry.
sounds.
I'm thinking.
All right. Semete, at least. Very simple. That it will always mean that at least. Semete, at least. Okay. Chanto is a little trickier, but it basically means like properly is one way of translating it.
This.
Kigaete is just it's kigairu but with te because we have something else right after it. Iterashai is actually like part of that is a verb, and so we need the te there as an and. Even though when you translate it, you don't need an and there necessarily. Maybe I haven't actually phrased the whole thing out, but because iterashai, ite is that's a verb.
That's a to-go verb.
So that means that because the kigaete is right before it, you need the te because it's two verbs one after another. You're listing verbs, so you need the te. That's just how the grammatical rules work. So the just present normal tense would be kigairu, but because we have the second verb, we need kigaete instead of kigairu. I said what it means, right? To
No, you had
change,
not said that.
like close. It means to change, as in close.
Change clothes? Oh.
Yes.
You should at least change your clothes
At least
before
change
class.
clothes before you go.
Ah. At least properly change.
Unless you want to run around in your PJs.
Mm-hmm. So the whole thing together means because even if Mama were to stop you, you would probably still escape and go look. At least change clothes before you go. Yay! Sense is made.
Yep.
Look, son, it's the middle of the night and forgot to go outside and
Typo and
see.
clothes in your
What?
quotes. Typo and clothes in your
The-
quotes. In your notes. Clother. Properly change your clother.
There we go. There.
All right. I think that's the last thing she
Okay.
says. Click confirm again.
Yep. Now we're in clothes.
Yay, clothes!
Nessa's bad hair day is over.
Hey, you have your cap and
Yep.
everything. Okay. Leave your room again. Also, there was a room you passed earlier that you probably want to go into now before you miss your chance to go in there. Oh, you went all the way down the stairs again. I mean, you can do that, but
Ah.
let's be thorough.
Sister friend.
Mm-hmm. Your sister, yes.
There she is.
Oh, present.
Oh shit, pick that up.
There's a present in the corner of the room, but you can worry about it after the dialogue. All right.
No, the first word's easy.
Yeah.
I've heard that so many times.
Mhm.
Sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to write it out, and you're like, oh, I get it. Oh, I just noticed another typo in your notes.
You're
Nukeru and Dasu.
Mm?
The Datu? What? Definitely not Datu. It's Dasu.
Just me typing along.
I was so curious about that.
I just looked up at that. I was like, wait, what? That's not what I said at all. There you go.
Oops.
All right.
I think it's supposed to be Oni-chan.
Oh, did I
Oni-chan.
meant? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
put
did.
down Oni-san.
I did the
Oni-san.
whole
Oni-chan.
Chi and Saw mix up again.
Yep.
Like I said, it's.
Well, I mean, if it were that, even if it were Saw there, it would be Xian,
Yes, I mean.
which doesn't make any sense. Xian? I guess if she's like 2 and has a lisp.
Now I'm thinking of like spoilers of the game. And it's like if she's 2, then some of the
Yeah, it
stuff.
makes no sense, right? Yeah, no. All right, finish writing down the sounds.
I mean, granted, your father you'll never see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how he tells you to take breaks, even though he's like always working off screen somewhere.
Look, he has to support his 2 kids and his wife.
Yeah, fair enough, but like,
Alright.
Older brother.
we all know Nichan means older brother, but when actually translating the sentence, we're gonna leave the older out. So the first word I'm gonna translate for you is ima. Ima is one of the first kanji I ever learned. It's very simple, but we won't worry about it right now. Ima means now. Very simple, now. Oto, I have told you what oto means before. See if you can remember or find it in your notes.
Nope, not in those notes.
Nope, no, in the game. We've encountered this word before in the game. During the dialogue with Mother.
Oh, it's sound.
Yes. Sound or noise, either of those. All right. So this is where you get to try to figure out how no works outside of being possessive. I mean, it's still kind of possessive here, but it's not the same as like saying a person owns something. So if ima means sound, or if oto means sound and ima means now, what does ima no oto mean?
That sound now.
No. Hi.
That sound just now. Or the sound just now, yeah. That sound just now is probably clear in English, even though there is no equivalent to that in the sentence.
No, it's kind of the.
Yeah. It connects words. Me, in this case, would have been written with the kanji for eyes. So me means eye or eyes.
And ga is that
is the subject marker again?
So
yeah.
Eyes is subject of
yep.
sentence.
Now I'm gonna work in the next part a little backwards. Actually, no, I'll go start with this. So mega sameru is a very common phrase that it just translates to awaken, right? If you're asleep and you wake up, that you mega sameta. I woke up. Now I actually have to look up what sameru means. I'm very familiar with that phrase though. I think it doesn't mean open. I mean like refreshing or something. Should probably know this. I'm very familiar with mega sameru though. Anytime you see that, that means awaken. So chattanoka is very informal past tense. Actually, it's not even no ka. There's no ka, which makes it even more informal. Chattano, yeah. This is child speak. Most people would have a ka there, but this is a child, so.
Very informal.
Very, very, very informal.
What does it mean again?
Past tense.
Just past tense.
So. Yeah. So mega samachattano is just very it's a very informal past tense woken up or woke up.
So let's figure out what's some.
Now there's one part of this sentence that's implied, and I have to talk about mo for a second here. Mo means also in this context. All right. Or two. Like you would be rephrasing it a lot, but you could translate this entire sentence as you woke up too. You could translate it that way, or brother Oni-chan woke up too, but again, like I said, you have to rephrase a lot to get to there. You could translate it that way. And the reason for that is because of the mo. The mo implies like, well, I mean, obviously you can see she's awake, right? But that's what the mo is implying. She woke up for the same reason as she's saying in her sentence. So what she's asking in this question here is she's implying I woke up because of the sound, and she's asking, did you wake up because of the sound too? She's saying she's implied that she woke up because of it in the way she's phrased it, and she's asking, did you wake up for the same reason? And so you can really rephrase the hell out of that, yeah. Where you can be extremely descriptive. You can see now how I'm like going on and on about this, how people who do localization have a lot of freedom with how they rephrase and rewrite stuff in English.
And then you have the editors that come through and literally just take their translations and say,
yeah, and then rephrase it a second time.
You said that, but it'd sound better in English if we said it this way, so we're gonna say it this way.
Even though it changes the meaning.
This is a clever pun in Japanese. Let's call a vegetable. Let's.
Oh God, last year when I went to the convention, I'm gonna get it wrong. It wasn't Acon, Anime Fest. When I went to that one in Texas, we went to a couple of the panels, and one of the panels was a someone who worked at Funimation talking about this exact topic, localization,
Monica Rial, right?
and how one of her, Monica Rial, and how one of her horror stories for localization was a comedy anime, and they were making some pun, and she's like, we can't translate the pun, but and so in those cases we usually have to come up with a new joke, and it can be really hard. And this was the hardest time I've ever had it because I forget exactly what happened, but I'm gonna come up with something similar. They had like a bunch of vegetables on screen for like 3 seconds, like all on like a flashy background, and then it cuts back to the characters, and everyone goes ah! And so she's pulling her hair out, like, how the fuck do I make this funny?
Her panel was fantastic.
The best ones when they just do a meta is like, I have no idea why vegetables were
Some
behind
of the
me.
panels at Anime Fest were absolutely hilarious. Like one
they
of
were
the panels
great.
was apparently one of the voice actors that decided they were just going to make a panel with a bunch of them in it and hadn't like really come up with an idea as to why they're having this panel, but they'd done it as a joke on everyone else. So they're like, why are we here? I don't know. And then the other person's like, 'cause I got us all here.
Okay.
Those were fun panels.
All right, we've translated the line.
Yeah.
We may move on. That was a fun distraction, though.
I am going to head out. It's late.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Translating for quite a while. We probably should have stopped after.
We have. This is the longest session we've had. But my goal is to get us out of the house. We're so close.
Oh no!
Yeah, we are. She can open that present, and then she basically just has to walk out the house.
Okay.
There's like a couple more things of dialogue. I promise it's not nearly as long as the one with Mother earlier.
Mother's a chatterbox.
Mother was worried.
A little bit. Yeah, she was worried. She wanted you to at least change out of your pajamas. That's a reasonable worry to have.
It is reasonable, and I do like Nessa's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Iwakatane.
I like all the.
By the way, that character doesn't have a name. She's just your mother.
Yeah.
We never get her name. She's just mom.
I love all the characters in here. I think the least
The game has a lot of charm.
Yeah, I think the least favorite character is Porky, but Porky is just bad.
No. First syllable wrong.
Okay.
First syllable wrong. First syllable wrong.
What?
I understand why you got it wrong, but first syllable wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
That moment when you realize, oh yeah, oops.
I love how with the stream delay you have plenty of chance to fix it yourself, but if it gets to me and I notice, yeah, it's time for me to say something.
You like the background that came up for a second there?
You've had a lot of
You
different
missed
ones.
that one?
They've all been generally pretty good. Was that one another Code Geass one? I was looking at notes.
Oh.
Should have given you a moment to actually see it.
So the nay is stretched out here, but this is the same nay you keep seeing.
Now.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, Monogatari. Got it. Excellent. All right. So the nay you see there, it's stretched out, but it's not.
Nay. Okay.
It's not any different. It's the same. It's the same nay. Okay, so we can take that out of the sentence. We know what that means. Kawakata is just past tense scary. So it was scary, right? That's all that is. And it's informal, of course. All right, next line.
Finished.
Yep.
I guess.
Open the
Talk?
box.
Open the box.
No. Remember, we talked about this. What do you do to open the box? It's not talk. What's your other option?
Check.
Yes.
That one.
What was in the box?
That's the B sound over top of it.
This is this first message is a message you're gonna see a lot. So we're gonna translate it once, and then from then on, I'm gonna let you skip it.
Is that a pu katakana? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Poo. Yes. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are katakana.
Oh.
Once you sound it out, I should not have to translate this one. It's another English
I
word.
think this is
Yeah,
B,
that's.
the next one.
But
Yeah.
the second one? The second one is Ray.
No, third. Sorry, third. I have Re.
Third.
B.
Yeah. So, did you find what it is without 1010? Because it has 1010.
It's T? H-I without tendon? Am I missing? No, it has the
No.
it has a drop,
The third
so
one, no.
it's yeah, sorry, I messed up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Oh, it's se without 10 or without 1010 ze.
And then, yeah, without 1010, and
Ze.
then with
Ze.
1010 it is. Yes. Ze. Z-E.
And this one is going to be
Pay attention to which direction the line goes.
so. No, I'm messing that up again, aren't I?
No.
That's
Find the other one. You found one. Now find the other one that looks very
N.
much like it.
N.
Yes. Yes.
Purezen? Pures? Pure?
Nope. No, keep going. Do the last one. What's the last one?
Oh.
You'll get it as soon as you do.
Present.
Probably. Yes. Presento. All right, so we know what that word is. Add a space and then do the rest. Mm-hmm.
Ha, caught it. that
Yep.
time. Aketa. No ha koa koa. Whoa was after
Whoa.
that space.
Yeah.
No hako wo aketa. Present to you, maybe? Yeah.
All right. So there's some more words you haven't seen before. The no you should be aware is the usual particle no. So the words you don't know are hako and aketa. Aketa is past tense open. So opened. And hako means box. I think with that you can figure out what it means.
You have opened the present box.
Yes. Well, yeah. Awa. Hako. Present no hako o aketa. Ah. This is gonna be a really good running joke. I'm gonna have to start naming all my JRPGs that I do in actual Japanese. I'm gonna name the protagonist in commemoration of this run. From now to the end of time.
Taken one way, if the other player or the other NPCs are using the player's name in a sentence, it's almost like they forgot his name and they're just like,
The only problem with that is that actual Japanese speakers have other tics that they do when they forget things. They'll be like, ano, eto,
that's true. That's true.
Eto. That's what they do.
It's more like
It's more like they accidentally stepped on their toes or something while they were talking. Right as they're about to say the player's name, they like stub their toe. All right, next line. What'd you get? What was in the box?
time to translate.
Yay!
Row, I think. Borrow.
No, that may be in katakana, but it's
Borrow. It's actually.
I think it's Japanese. Wait, no, cause yeah, no, I think it's Japanese.
What are you looking at?
Borrow.
Boro. It's written in katakana, but I think it's a Japanese word. I'm gonna pull it up in my dictionary and just double check that it is what I think it is.
Maybe it means ball?
No, it's not that. No. Show. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's exactly what I was thinking of. Yep.
This is an interesting mix of hiragana and katakana.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, the second katakana word makes perfect sense. Say that aloud.
Bato?
The one you just did. Drop the O.
Bat.
Yes.
Got a bat.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Boro means like old or beaten up. So aru is the present tense of the verb is in Japanese. So atta is the past tense. That making sense? Aru it can be is or to be, either of those. And then atta is the past tense of that. So with all that information, what do you think it translates as?
It is a beaten up old bat. It's a beaten up, yeah.
Past tense.
Was.
There was a beaten old bat inside.
Inside's implied, kind of. It's not there, but it's implied.
Yeah, the inside is implied. Mostly because of the previous sentence.
Okay. Wait, there was more? No. Same thing.
No.
Wait.
Hmm?
It added stuff.
I'm behind
Okay.
you. I gotta wait.
It added another part to that?
Nope. No. Okay, so the first line is the same, obviously. We've seen Boro no Bato before. Now it's the last line is the only real difference.
Oh, an old bat, right? And then it's
Whoa. And then now it's just write down what the last line is. That's the part we really need to translate. Now it's gonna most of this is gonna be the same anytime you open any box ever, so we're basically only gonna have to translate what you find from now on. Which is gonna be a big time saver.
Tenni Iwata? No, I
No.
messed something up.
The second to last one is not wa.
Oh, it has a more to it. Sorry, it's re.
It's a little curvy at the bottom. Yeah, correct. Teni ireta. So te means hand. Ni is the position marker we talked about earlier. Location marker, position marker, either. Ireta means like put in.
Puts the old beaten up bat in his
You
hand.
grabbed it, or you put it in your hands. You grabbed it. Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
You took it in your hands. Any of these work.
Okay. So now we have an old bat.
Mm-hmm. And now bat is a weapon. You know what that means we have to do? No. We have to equip it. Equip it. Do it.
Equipment, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And which one was weapon?
The middle one. I have two things?
And then you change it from nashi. You change it from nashi to boro no bato.
And then I think I just hit back once I equipped.
Once you've equipped it, you can hit back. Yes. Once it's in, like actually, you have to make sure it's equipped first. Yep, it's equipped. Excellent. Notice how your offense went from 2 to 6.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have to talk to her again before I leave?
I believe so. Yeah. I think you have to try to leave and then talk to her and then do what she says and then leave. I believe that's the order. And then we're done.
It just let me leave.
For the night.
Yeah.
Oh, just let you leave? Oh, okay. Wait, we'll go back and talk to her one more time. Because I think there's one other thing you're supposed to do, even though you don't have to. And as soon as you're out of your house the next time, we can call it there. That's a good stopping point for now.
It looks like Pallet Town.
This predated Pokemon.
I know.
By the way.
I know.
Oh no. We've heard this before. Yep, we've heard this before. Okay.
Let's see.
See if the whole dialogue's the same. Because this line is
Yeah.
entirely the same.
Yeah.
Is it still the same next line
Yep.
too? Okay. So you can skip through her.
Oh, and then it just stops. It just does 2 of the lines.
Okay. Okay. Talk to the
Oh.
dog. Just do it.
Is that first symbol an actual sign or?
It's a parentheses. It's a
Okay.
parentheses. A lot of things that aren't human will start their dialogue with parentheses because it's implied that they're not actually talking. This is their thoughts that you're somehow understanding. Because
Awesome.
Ness is a little psychic even at this point, so. Is just that second character in katakana
The
for some
first 2 are
reason?
katakana.
Oh, you're right. It is the first. Yeah, the first 2 are in katakana. Why? Definitely Inu. Whatever. Nope. You're correct at Yoru. What's after Yoru? I think you lost track of where you were at Yoru.
Yorumo.
No. Hitomo Yoru wa.
Oh,
Oh, dang.
there was another ruin, yeah. You see how there's another roof further on?
Yeah, you got lost.
I saw the next ruin. I jumped from there.
Yeah, I see that. I was like, nope, this is not the same line I'm reading here.
There. Just missed a wad today.
Yep. Okay. So I think you know what Inu means, right? What does Inu mean? I know you've heard this before.
I have to.
At least once.
Inuyasha.
Not.
Good hint, though. Good.
Yeah, good hint.
I'm not remembering.
It means
Oh.
dog.
Inu
Dog.
Baka.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hito means person. Or human. Usually person, though. I think you know what Mo means. I've said it plenty of times. Yoru means night. Neru is the present tense of to sleep. the mon here is probably means the kanji mono, which is thing, and it's combined with daze, which is it's a kind of a weird sentence ender, but it is a sentence ender.
Thank you for confirming that, because I had never heard Daze used before.
It's a unusual sentence ender.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dog.
So, people and dogs. Night is a time to sleep. Is how I would probably, or yeah, night is when we should be sleeping. Is the idea it's trying to get across? I'm trying to figure out how a natural way to try to get the, because a Nerumon, it's just combining to sleep
Thing.
with
That
thing.
sleep thing.
Like, yeah. That would be the literal translation, but the idea it's trying to get across is like people and dogs. This is when we
People
should be
dogs
sleeping.
should sleep at night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a natural way of wording it.
I guess it'd be dogs and well, doesn't matter. Yeah. Hey.
This is definitely the last dialogue we're translating, by the way. After this, the only thing you do is leave the house. So as soon as we're done here, you can just save. Leave the house, save wherever.
Hey Ben, question about Daze.
Mm-hmm.
Is it used to verbalize a noun? Is it? Because you can say sleeping as a verb.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say sleep thing, then you're technically saying it's kind of a noun. It's like an object, sleep thing. So is
Yeah.
Daze to verbalize a noun? So
I don't think it is. Yeah, because he immediately afterwards says Neroyo. Let that means let sleep.
Okay. So Yo's just kind of a.
So I think that completes the idea because that was the end of the dialogue.
okay.
The Daze throws me for a loop. It's I've heard it before, but it's very rarely used. The most common time I've heard it before is with like saying there's a phrase like yada yada daze. That's technically slang, I think, and it's like oh boy is how I translate that. You know, like it gets across the idea of exasperation.
Okay.
Alright, I saved state.
Is that last one?
We're finished.
Is that Neruyo or Neroyo?
Neroyo. Yeah, you wrote it wrong in your notes.
Wait, I
Neroyo.
thought it was just a.
Neru is present tense sleep. Nero is like Nero is
Oh, did it?
is
It
putting
didn't
in the
have the
let's
little
let's
crawly
do
Q,
X
I
form.
guess. Okay.
No, it
Okay.
didn't. Yeah. So Nero changing into that form is what gives you the let's part of the sentence.
Ah, okay.
And then the yo is anytime you exclaim something or you're very 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 sure of something, that's when you use the yo sentence ender.
Mm.
It's also commonly used to inform someone of something that you're pretty sure that they don't know or might be very useful information.
Okay.
But like, if you were to say that and the other person already knew that, you kind of look like a jackass.
So dog is kind of looking like a jackass right now. He's assuming you don't know that the
Little
night
bit.
is.
I mean, he said let's
Yeah.
sleep. That's what the yo is for. It's I want you to imagine if there was none of the English punctuation they have thrown in there, because the English punctuation they do have thrown in there, it like reinforces the Japanese that's already there. Japanese doesn't normally have exclamation points and question marks. So in that case, the yo would be a verbal exclamation point, kind of, where it was similar to how ka is kind of like a verbal question mark. All right, we have gone way longer than I thought we would, but
How long was that session?
like 2.5
Longer.
hours if we don't
Don't-
count the
don't
break.
even-
No, it was 3 hours. It was 3 hours, like if we count the break. But there was multiple breaks in there, especially the one
Yeah.
where you called
yeah,
your mother.
she kind of was getting really. Yeah.
So it was more like two. It was like more like 2.5 hours probably.
Man.
But hey, we're out of the house!
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
God, if we ever finish this game. We will have to get to the point where you're doing a lot of this on your own and I don't need to help you, because otherwise, at this pace, we're not going anywhere.
Francesca, check your Discord
Okay.
messages. Check.
Whoa. Whoa. I have a lot of Discord messages.
Whoa. I'm glad I reminded you,
I do
Dan.
not think so, Kira.
Okay.
So, anybody up for like one round of battle right before we go to bed?
Sure.
Have fun,
wanted
guys.
Do you guys want to do Overwatch instead? It is the new event tonight.
Yeah, the
Or
Uprising
for
event
the
started
week.
today.
Yeah.
I will let Francesca choose. I have not updated
haven't
Overwatch though,
either.
so just warning you on that.
Ooh, the patch
Yeah,
takes a
you
while.
might want to.
It does.
We may
it
not
does.
have time. We may not have time for the patch.
So,
Battle right it is.
me change my.
All right. Thanks
Yeah.
for letting me join.
Courtney,
Night,
it was
guys.
fun.
No problem. You're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
We change this over here.